Welcome back to another segment of the DLA in the News.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, the world of YouTube. The world of YouTube. The DLA guru is back in the building. Yes, indeed. I am back in the building on this somewhat chilly Saturday morning here in St. Louis, Missouri. Hailing from St. Louis, Missouri, the DLA guru. Yes, indeed. But hey, highly blessed, highly favored. And welcome to my channel. Looks like we have 4 concurrent viewers in the building. It's great to see you guys in the building. As you guys know, I always love it when you bring some chats and some comments and some chats to me to let me know that you're in the building. So I got 4 viewers. Drop me a fire emoji. Drop me a little love, especially if you guys are subscribers to my channel. Let me know that you're loving what the DLA guru is cooking. I love the engagement, especially you spending some time in your busy schedules to spend some time with me to learn a little bit about the DLA. And yes, I have a fantastic presentation for you guys today. Today is dedicated to my Brigadier General members. And after this brief presentation for the public, we're going to be moving to our Brigadier General closed circuit 101 training where you can cam up and mic up with me. And we can talk anything and everything related to the DLA. And if you're interested in joining me and you're not a Brigadier General, take a look at the chat. I've already put a comment in there where you can click that link and go ahead and join me over. It's a paid subscription, paid membership, of course, in order to be a part of our closed circuit one-on-one conversations related to DLA solicitations, DLA national stock numbers, vendor development, just the DLA vendor community that I've been working religiously on building over the past year or so. And I think there's just a lot of value for those of you out there in this DLA space, in the the federal contracting space or the GovCon space, that I think you'll get a lot of benefit in helping to grow your business. All right, looks like we got a comment that just came in before diving into my presentation. Looks like we got James in the building. Hey, James, go ahead and give you a round of applause. Haven't talked to you in a while, James, and looks like I think you've been a little bit, a little busy working your DLA contracts. Last I remember you reached out and said that you had won a few awards and you had submitted your invoicing and you're waiting to get paid. So hopefully that's all going very seamlessly as it relates to your journey with the DLA. Looks like James put a comment. Morning, Kiwi. Filled 2 more contracts this week. Shipping out 1 to the UAE and Kuwait this morning. Hey, you know what, James? Man, it really warms my heart when we get new vendors coming into this space, taking advantage of all my great content and all my training and all the support that I have put out there for those of you who are interested in changing the trajectory of your business and getting involved with doing business with the world's largest customer. And James is definitely one of those student clients that has gotten involved and he's winning contracts. He's cashing checks and taking names and just growing his business and being involved in this community. Thank you for that comment, James. Fantastic to you, and continue to win, man. Let's see. He has another comment here. All right. It says, had a contract officer. That's for those of you who may be new to my content. CO, we have a lot of acronyms in this GovCon space. And so some people get a little overwhelmed with all the acronyms, but CO stands for contract officer. All right. Hit him up to bid on a contract fulfilled a few weeks ago to bid on a new contract. So things are rolling. Hey, man. Hey, did I not tell you, man, once you kind of get into this game and you kind of find your lane, and for those of you guys that may not know James, he's a service disabled vet. He got a service disabled vet certification. Hey, by the way, James, drop it in the chat if some of these contracts are set asides for vets or they're just total small business opportunities that you're going after. But I do know in the early days when James first got involved with the DLA, he and I had our one-on-ones where we were talking a little bit about a focus or a competitive advantage that he may have had as related to going after DLA, and he wanted to just myopically focus on service-disabled, veteran-owned, set-aside opportunities within the DLA space. So yeah, James, let us know if these are some of those vet contracts, or if they're just unrestricted, or if they're just total small business contracts that you're going after there as well. But while James is cooking in the comments, and thank you again, James, for those comments. I love the engagement. We got 4 concurrent viewers in the building, 4 likes. So thank you for the likes. I love to have parity to my views and likes. So hopefully we got more folks kind of trickling in here, because I'll be around a little bit talking and adding value, bringing value to those of you who are my subscribers in this space. And by the way, for those of you who are not subscribers to my channel, but are taking a look at my content, because I know I get a lot. I think we're probably like 50% of the people that watch my content are not subscribers, which it blows my mind why you wouldn't just hit the subscribe button. But for those of you who are watching it, hit that subscribe button. That activates your ability to drop me a chat, or drop me a city and state that you're hailing from, because I always like to know kind of my reach. I know, my content is getting out. Believe it or not, guys, I looked at my YouTube analytics, and people in Russia are looking at my content, and I'm like, okay, all right. Maybe because I'm talking about the DLA and the U.S. military, but yeah, folks in Russia are looking at the content, or maybe they could just be contractors that are in Russia. Who knows? But hey, the analytics are telling me, and I'm also getting people in Israel taking a look at my content. So I'm the DLA guru is kind of going a little global, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, please drop in the chat where you're hailing from, because it's always great to know where folks are kind of hailing from in this community. But today, the reason why you're here is to learn a little bit about GOVCON, right? We want to learn more about the GOVCON space. So let me go ahead and drive my presentation, and I like this. Yeah, so today we're going to be talking a little bit about top 5 ways to stay motivated in the DLA GOVCON space. All right, and I think this is a great topic to talk about, guys, because a lot of student clients reach out to me after they've taken some of the master classes, have gotten involved with the DLA, and they're just like, man, I bid on so many contracts, I'm not winning. These vendors are not giving me lines of credit. It's just like, this is more difficult than what I thought. Hey, and by the way, guys, look at any video that I put in my catalog. I never promise you that this is going to be a cakewalk. This is literally, you're going to have to, it's bootstraps, man. You got to build your business as relates to it. But hey, why not build a business tailored to supporting the world's largest customer, the Defense Logistics Agency? They spend over $50 billion a year, 50B with a B, with a, billion with a B. And they're looking to do business with small businesses. So why not figure it out and get involved? So, hey, how do you stay motivated? That's what today's topic is all about. And I got 5, thoughts that come to mind that I take under my hood, and I train my team, and we all kind of live and breathe it day in and day out in this GovCon space. And so that's what today's presentation is going to be about. But before getting into that topic, for those of you who are new to me, new to my content, my name is Kiwi Hendricks. I am the U.S. government sales manager with the National Material Supply Company. We've been in this space for over 20 years, doing business with all branches of the U.S. federal government, and namely the U.S. military by way of the DLA. So I've coined the name the DLA Guru because I had 20 years of experience under my belt. I am a guru. I am a guru in so many respects because, man, there isn't too much that I haven't seen as it relates to doing business with this particular customer. And, it warms my heart to get involved in this YouTube space and these YouTube streets, and to kind of extend an olive branch to those of you who may be new to government contracting and want to get involved on the product side of it. So welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome for those of you who are new. And for those of you who are seasoned, thank you for your subscription. Because, hey, guess what, guys? Last week, this week, Wednesday, I hit the 2,000 subscriber mark. Thank you. Let's go ahead and do a round of applause. Thank you for those of you who have subscribed to my channel. Man, you know, in this space, getting 2,000 subscribers is a daunting task within, you know, a little bit over a year that I've been in the space. So that just lets me know that the things that I'm cooking in the DLA Guru's kitchen, you guys are enjoying the content and hitting that subscribe button. So for those of you who are new to my content, new to me, and who are watching the videos but haven't hit the subscribe button, please hit the subscribe button because that helps my channel to grow. It gives my message out to a broader audience, and it just lets me know that you're kind of loving what the DLA Guru is cooking. And by all means, hit that like button. I love those likes, for that engagement gets the YouTube algorithm or the audio rhythm stoked, and it just gets YouTube happy because it's like, hey man, this guy knows what he's talking about. People are really enjoying it. So thank you for those likes. It costs you nothing to subscribe and like, but it means everything to me. And by all means, drop me a comment if there's a video that kind of rocks you and kind of gives you some nuggets, some insight on how to do business with the DLA. Drop me a comment. Let me know that you're liking that video, or if you have any questions related to how to get more involved with me, drop those comments in any one of the video, chat sections of those videos, because I read any and all comments that come to me. And by all means, share my content, this video feed, to friends and family members who may be looking for a new opportunity, maybe looking to 10x their businesses, and just want to get involved with someone that really does care. You know, my channel is all about care. Guys, sometimes I think I'm delivering too much value because it's like, wait a minute, I'm giving all the beans. And, you know, it's 20 years of experience. But hey, you know what? I think it's a good thing because you pay it forward. And it's good that I'm able to help a lot of folks. I do get comments from time to time, guys, that say, hey, you know what, DLA Guru, thank you for all the videos. I've binged on your entire catalog, and I'm now, you know, bidding on DLA contracts. And that is fantastic. That just makes me feel so good that, you know, you guys are getting value. So please share the content to other folks. And by all means, hit that notification bell. You want to hit the notification bell because you never want to be a day late and a dollar short as it relates to connecting with yours truly, DLA Guru. All right, cool. So top 5 ways to stay motivated in these YouTube streets. All right, this is what we're going to be talking about today. Let me make some adjustments, guys, to my screens here so I can see everything at one time. Right now, I make a quick adjustment because it's hard to see everything there. Okay, good. So I think I can see who is in the building. I see my chats. I see all that good stuff. All right. You guys are going to love this. You're going to love it. You're going to love it, love it, love it. All right, cool. So first thing that comes to mind, top 5 ways to stay motivated. Well, actually, you know what? I had the wrong screen up there. All right, let's get the right screen here. Where is it at? All right. I was testing this out this morning and I hit the wrong button. There you are. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah. So the first thing that comes to mind is prayer. You guys want to stay prayed up in this YouTube space. I mean, listen, DLA contracting in general with the federal government, it's going to require you guys to be really connected to a different kind of way of going about things, right? With my team, with what we do day in and day out, we incorporate prayer. Not that we're like a religious company or anything of that nature, but there's something about prayer that just kind of aligns the chakras. You know, government contracting is a spiritual journey, and you have to know how to pray about where you're going with your business. You want to make sure that you're in alignment with what the Creator has in store for you and your family and your company, right? So you want to make sure that you're praying so that you're not going after opportunities that may be a poison pill for your business. You want to ask the Creator, whoever you may pray to, for guidance. You want to ask for protection as you're going in these government contracting spaces, because it's a blood sport. It's a dog eat dog world in this space. And so you want to make sure that you're going after contracts that align with your core capabilities, so you don't bite off more than you can chew. And I think that having a spiritual connection to your business and the way that you're going about doing business, and making sure that you're honest and that you're ethical and that you're just aligned correctly with the right attitude, is what you're going to need in order to stay motivated in this GovCon space. I get a lot of student clients that say, hey man, I've been on hundreds of solicitations and I'm not winning. Everyone is beating me out. And it's really because you're not aligned. You're not aligned to the direction of, where the creator has the path that he has set out for you. Those paths are for other businesses. That's not your path. So you have to incorporate some type of prayer and meditation as it relates to staying motivated in the space. All right. So that's like number one. All right. Before getting into number two, I got some more comments that are coming in here. All right. We got James hitting us with a lot of comments. We got 7 viewers in the building as well. Thank you for those eyes and ears on the content. Let's see here. James Hayes, he has here, boom. Yeah, okay, you were answering the question that I had there, James. I asked about how many of your contracts were services able vet owned set aside, and you said both. About 60% are open contracts, and the other 4% are set asides for service veteran owned services able vet owned set asides. And congratulations to you, James, because the DLA, they do award contracts to those socioeconomic factors. So for those of you who may be hub-owned companies, woman-owned companies, 8A, service-able vet, or just veteran-owned companies, the DLA is a viable customer for you because there's a lot of low-hanging fruit where the competitive landscape is not as competitive if you got the information and you got the right motivation to go after these opportunities to support the world's largest military, our Department of Defense. And okay, cool. So congratulations to you there again, James. And he has another comment that just popped up here. All right. He says, all right, hey, planning on private labeling an NSN through the DLA source approval request program. I see that my competitor is making this product for $25 and is selling it for $260 to the DLA. Hey, man, you're right, James. That SAR program is fantastic, but keep in mind, man, you're gonna have to be connected to your manufacturers from doing that because you can't be awarded. You won't be added to the QSL, the qualified suppliers list, unless you're a manufacturer. So you're gonna have to work with your manufacturer to set that up. And I have some insight on how to do that because I have some manufacturing license agreement with some manufacturers, and our company is working in tandem with some manufacturers going after some SARs as well. So I may be able to shed some light to you on that process as well. And we got Yolanda in the building with the fire emoji. Thank you, Yolanda, for the fire. Well, I think it's a fire explosion, but thank you, Yolanda. As a matter of fact, Yolanda and I, we had a 101 right before today's live stream, and she and I we cammed up and mic'd up over in the Zoom world. She's a recent graduate of, I think it's the Postal Award Masterclass, and so congratulations to you, Yolanda, for taking the plunge and getting involved, getting some investment, getting some access to 20 years of experience. What's between my ears, and hopefully is definitely going to support you and your growth with the DLA. So thank you for that fire or explosion emoji that you got there in the chat for me, Yolanda. Fantastic. Okay, cool. So that's number one. And I'm not putting this in any order of priority, but of course, priority number one is always going to incorporate prayer, guys. So prayer. Number two, what I recommend for you guys in this space is to dream big. You want to dream big. Brother James has just put into the chat that he's interested in doing some private labeling of NSNs. I wouldn't necessarily use the word private label, but he basically wants to get his company positioned such that the manufacturers he's working with can be on the qualified supplier list. So when those NSNs come up ready to rock and roll, that he's positioned with the right, the authorizations from the DLA in order to support that particular contracting effort. And the profit margins are completely sick. And when it comes to this type of space, but of course, there are some hoops you got to jump through, some mountains that you got to climb in order to achieve that foothold with working with the DLA for some of those really lucrative government solicitations that are out there. But it's really about having the right knowledge base, having the right information, having the right alignment, and dreaming big. These are some of the tools, the top 5 ways of getting motivated in the DLA government contracting space. All right. Number 1, prayer. Number 2, dreaming big. Because whenever you think of these overarching goals for your company, and I highly recommend you guys set quarterly goals. whether it be how many proposals you want to go after, how many new national stock numbers that you want to get access to. If you want to, get JCP certified, get technical drawings, the technical data packages as it relates to working with custom machining companies or manufacturing companies to build products, specialty products strictly for the DLA, whether it be DLA Land and Maritime, DLA Troop Support, DLA Medical, you name it. With the DLA is just a huge, huge customer with a lot of different opportunities. So dreaming big will definitely motivate you to get up every day and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to do a little bit every day towards my DLA dreams or just government contracting dreams. I want to make sure my channel it's really talking about the DLA, but it's also other aspects of government contracting, whether it be SAM.gov. The DLA is in that arena too, from a services perspective. If you want to get into DLA distribution or DLA disposition services, where you're providing services to the DLA to assist them, and you'll find a lot of those opportunities in the SAM.gov arena as well. All right, so dreaming big. Number three, you want to get excited. So prayer, dreaming big, getting excited about the work that we have to do to support the DLA. All right. So as Brother James is talking about, hey, wanting to private label or hone in and own an NSN, it's because he understands the NSN. He's done the analysis, and by the way, James, like myself, is an engineer. And you don't have to be an engineer in this space. Yolanda and I were just talking about 30 minutes ago, and she was saying, yeah, I knew you were an engineer. And she mentioned that her brother was an engineer and was kind of wondering if this space is really for techie people. And I would say that you have to have kind of a really a myopic focus on things. And I think engineering does kind of train you, how to go through a free body diagram or how to do a differential equation or calculus and physics. You really have to break it down on a very rudimentary building block level to really understand how all the inner workings of things come together. So engineering does kind of give us a little bit of a competitive advantage in space. But if you are the type of person that you're just very organized person, the DLA is a great customer for you, because it's step by step of how you kind of break down opportunities and know how you can add value along, within the supply chain and supporting the DLA and the world's largest customer, the U.S. military, right? So getting excited about that particular product and developing that product, because, the DLA has tons of federal supply class, the FSC codes, right? And those FSC codes cover a wide array of products that fall within the FSC. Keep in mind, the DLA has, some of my videos, I say over 4 million. I think it's over 5 million, 5 million national stock numbers, because it's a dynamic database of NSNs coming in and going out, as the warfighter needs different components for new assets that they may be bringing online within the U.S. military's control. So there's always this dynamic ebb and flow of national stock numbers coming in and out. But the net of it is that the DLA has a wide array of parts that they are responsible for managing, and they have to go to the market in order to procure those parts. So getting excited about those parts, like student clients that reach out to me and do the one-on-ones, I always say, hey, what do you really like? What do you like to touch? Do you like gears, motors, nuts, bolts, screws, medical supplies? What is it that you're really interested in? What do you have a background in? Get excited about that and focus on it. Have a myopic focus on those types of products, and become a subject matter expert with those products. And only good things are going to happen to you. These are ways to stay motivated. Prayer, dreaming big, getting excited. All right, guys. All right. Hey, we got 11 concurrent viewers in the building. Thank you for joining us. Feel free to drop some information about who you are out there. You just don't want to just sit on the sidelines. Get into the game. Drop me a fire emoji or an explosion, as our good friend Yolanda put in there, or any type of question or comment that you may have as it relates to my content or the DLA. I'll be filling all that for the next few minutes here while I'm giving you guys some of this value before we move over to the Brigadier General and my Patreon family. Hey, by the way, if I have any Brigadier Generals in the building, feel free to drop me a comment in the chat there, so I'll know that you guys are in the building. And if you on the Patreon side of the coin too, drop me a chat, because I typically like to have at least 2 to 3 of my paid subscribers so that I have a nice quorum of folks that will be able to take advantage of my closed circuit information that will happen shortly after this public presentation. So keep that in mind too. And if you're not Brigadier General, there is in the chat a link where you can join me today. Once you get in there, you join it. You can cam up and mic up with me in my closed circuit live stream that will be happening here in the StreamYard world, and we'll talk anything and everything related to DLA. Okay, cool. So number four, you want to create a tribe. Yeah, you know what? Perfect. Creating a tribe, because the DLA, a lot of folks don't really understand this, but the DLA is an organization that's comprised of people. The U.S. military is an organization comprised of people. Your organization has to be comprised of people. You have to create a tribe behind the business in doing business with the Defense Logistics Agency. And that will be both internal and external team development. All right. So creating that tribe is going to motivate you to stay engaged. If you're a solopreneur in this space, if you're just basically doing what I did 20 years ago when I was a lowly engineer working for Boeing, I remember burning the candle, both ends of the stick, burning the midnight oil, getting off work in my regular engineering job, going home, getting on my computer, going through DLA solicitations, going through, at the time, Granger's big red book of products that they had in there, those MRO products. And, I'm looking at the product price points and going in, bidding on DLA solicitations. And I was just basically talking to myself. It was just me against the world, Tupac, me against the world. It was me against the world. And I did find myself running out of steam. It's a very daunting task to do business at this level with the world's largest customer. The DLA has so much information coming at you guys. And if you're not creating a tribe of internal and external team development where you're interacting with people on a daily basis in support of going after DLA solicitations, whether not just your vendors or going to a website and getting prices. I mean, you're going to have to be meeting with folks, like having lunch dates, developing trust, developing relationships with your external team, that is your vendors, and internal, whether you're working with family members within your organization. You may have children that you can bring in and teach them a little bit about this DLA world, because this is a gift that keeps on giving. The DLA has been around for about 64 years. So they're a fairly new agency as it relates to federal agencies, and they're here to stay. They are they are who the U.S. military has to work through in order to get access to the products that they need in order to keep us safe. So, they're a fairly new customer. You guys are new. So we're all new to this, right? But then building your tribe, your team, and you're interacting, if not on a daily basis, at least a weekly basis, is going to be what you're going to need to stay motivated. So friends and family, if you have children, brothers, sisters, I think, Yolanda's mentioned that she has a brother that's an engineer. Hey, Yolanda, get your brother talking about DLA stuff, because there's a lot that an electrical engineer can support as it relates to product development with the DLA. Get him involved in this stuff. Show him the replay of this channel, of this video production here, and to see if he may be interested and learn a little bit about it. I think that's those types of factors will assist you with growing your business. I'm telling you guys, when I got involved in the DLA 20 years ago, all my family knows about me in the DLA. I mean, I had cousins, even my sisters were involved with doing data mining and going after DLA solicitations. I mean, maybe one of the days I have my sister in on one of my live streams or something, and she can kind of talk about the early days. But those types of things I began to employ as a very young person, knowing that, hey, I need to have this be more than just be about me. You do not want to be a solopreneur as it relates to the DLA, because you will get burnt out. All right. So you're going to need to have a team. All right. So creating a tribe. And last but not least, my number 5, again, no order of preference, no order of priority. You want to seek DLA training and coaching. All right. DLA training and coaching is going to be paramount. Working with people like me, and I'm not the only person in this YouTube space that talks about the DLA, but I want to, not to be too not to brag too much, but I kind of think my content is spot on. I think, you guys are going to get a tremendous amount of value out of linking and partnering with me and some of the training programs I have in place, because I am here to win it. I am here to assist as many small businesses as I can, to be like Brother James and like Sister Yolanda as it relates to their success with the DLA early on. I want to help you guys not have to skin your knee and bump your head and make mistakes that could be catastrophic for your business, as well as trying to, keep you guys motivated and saying, hey, it's not easy. It's not a sprint. This is a marathon. But with the proper training, the proper coaching, and the strategic alignment that you can do with your company, because this game, you're playing chess, not checkers in this game. It's strategic, alignment, strategic positioning in this market, because it's a competitive landscape. You want to make sure you have at least some of these 5 top ways under your belt to stay motivated, because there's no sense in getting involved and getting burnt out, and then you sit this down, and then you got to pick it back up and kind of figure things out again, because you're like, oh man, I forgot this vendor, I lost this information. Once you get involved, stay committed. Give it a good 3 to 4 year, day in and day out goal. You want to give it a 3 to 4 year dedication in finding your lane within this space, and then seeking the right DLA training and coaching along the way to help you with your business. Now, hey, all right, we got some more fire emojis in the building. We got Brother Mike in the building that has given us a fire emoji. Thank you for the fire emojis there, Mike. I appreciate the love there. And it looks like, Mike, looks like you are an enlisted, and thank you for the investment and support my channel at the enlisted level. Now, keep in mind, Mike, enlisted doesn't get you access to talking to me directly through those are only for the brigadier generals. But if you're new to my content, new to my channel, and you just kind of want to put a toe in it, but you want to definitely consider joining me as a brigadier general, because that's where you get the most bang for your buck and most value out of working with me and helping to support your business. And we got another comment on the screen here. We got it from Mr. Box Office there. I won my first government contract and waiting for VSM to approve my company so I can access the packaging details. Hey, Box Office, that's fantastic. Another win under the belt. And I think I've seen you having some comments and whatnot in my chats of some of the other videos. If I'm not mistaken, it's hard to kind of know the aliases. Sometimes it's hard to know who the people are, but hey, congratulations to you on your first DLA award. And you're right, you are fresh to the DLA because you're waiting on your vendor shipment module access that comes with any DLA contract that you get. And that's, man, you're moving in the right direction. Fantastic. It just, man, warms my heart to see folks coming in and putting the receipts in the chat to say that you guys are winning. So for those of you, who think that the DLA is just not a place where you can get involved and win government contracts, you'll see. You got James, you got Mr. Box Office that are in there saying that, hey, I'm winning contracts. Now, of course, a lot of times your first contracts, you're going after low-hanging fruit. You want to kind of dibble and dabble, and it's not like hockey sticks where you're winning, hundreds and thousands of dollars from these contracts. But guys, the more you do it, the more you exercise that muscle, the more you stay motivated, the more that you build your tribe, the more that you pray, the more you dream big, the more you get excited. All this energy just begins to kind of have this kinetic approach. It's like potential energy turns to kinetic energy. And then you'll find yourself in different avenues and different arenas and different opportunities that are just come your way. Because as James was saying, hey, he won a couple of contracts, and then the contract officers started reaching out to him directly. It wasn't like he's chasing after business within DIBBS. You'll literally start getting contract officers hitting you up with emails, and they're doing what's called market research surveys and saying, hey, I got an opportunity. We saw that you won this in the past. This is FSC code that's similar to that. Hey, can you bid on this one? You'll start to get that momentum, as it relates to it. And all of it has a lot to do with your mindset, how you're motivated in going after this type of business, right? So fantastic to you, Box Office, and James and Mike and Yolanda in the building. Looks like we got 10 concurrent viewers, 11 concurrent viewers in the building. Looks like we have some more fire emojis in the building there. I'm not going to try to mispronounce your name, but it looks like we'll call it LA is in the building. Thank you for those fire emojis there. I really appreciate that. And let's see, she also states there, your energy never dissipates. It transfers. Yeah, you're right. It's like matter is neither, created nor destroyed. It only just changes shape and form. That's the same thing about energy. And you just want to be able to tap into it in this GovCon space because you need it. You got to have motivation, whether it be self-motivation or you're reaching out to your tribe or are joining organizations that folks are interacting together. And by the way, guys, in the description of this video, I put in a link where you can join me over in LinkedIn. I created a LinkedIn group, and it's by invite only. And so you'll have to have some credentials. You can apply and request to join our LinkedIn group. I think we have about 25 members in it now. And there are a couple of manufacturers that are in the group. And then there are also some DLA vendors that are in the group. I haven't done a whole lot of activity in that group yet because I'm trying to kind of just build, the number of folks that are in it. But I got some big ideas of what we're going to be doing in the LinkedIn space. But I'm looking only for professionals. So you got to have a LinkedIn profile that's populated with some accolades, who your company is, your educational background, things of that nature are going to be paramount to be a part of my LinkedIn DLA vendor network. I call it the DVN. And I highly recommend you guys meet me over there because, again, that's that tribe effect that I'm talking about in order to help us stay motivated in this DLA GovCon space. All right. So fantastic to you there. Energy never dissipates. Let me put that back up again. I just really love that. Energy never dissipates. It just transfers. It never dissipates. It transfers from one way to the other. So you want to harness that energy and have it here in this DLA space for sure. All right, cool, guys. It's just, I really look forward to these live streams and the engagement and talking to folks. And, I really, really enjoy the camming up and miking up. So if you guys, want to join me with the Brigadier General level, bi-monthly, you'll meet me in the Brigadier General area. And so, a lot of folks saying, hey, DLA Guru, yeah, you got some good videos. Interested in joining your masterclass. I'm interested in getting more involved, but I'm just not 100% sure that the DLA is for me. I get a lot of student clients that send me emails. They say, hey, I've taken this class. I've taken this class on the SAM stuff. I'm wasting my money. These other content creators, they just it's a money grab for them. They don't really care. Well, like Michael Jackson, they don't really care about us. Well, I care, and the way I say I care is because, hey, I also offer a 15-minute pre-screening phone call. That means in the description of this video, there's a link where you can click and you can request my audience with you to have a discussion about you, your business, where you are in your life, your business cycle, your life cycle. If I think that one of my training programs will be good for you, if I think the DLA may be good for you based on your background versus you taking that plunge and realizing that, you may have had an emotional thing that went on, because you want to have great emotion, but you also want to be, dedicated, so my 15-minute pre-screening phone call, I'm going to really assess your level of dedication, because I don't think you need to waste your time. If you're not going to be dedicated to giving this thing at least 3 to 4 years of getting out there and beginning to develop your tribe and develop your team. And so my 15-minute pre-screening phone call will definitely help me to assess that. And then I can kind of steer you in the right direction. If you see here, I have the banner about the SBA and the U.S. Treasury's offset program. I got about 2 or 3 videos that are in my catalog. The past couple of weeks, I've been talking a lot about the U.S. Treasury offset program as it relates to those SBA EIDL loans, that's economic industry disaster loans. That has been a complete debacle for federal contractors. If you kind of got caught up in that back during the pandemic, I do have a masterclass that I launched that has helped 3. I've had 3 folks that have taken the masterclass, and it has definitely assisted them in getting out of the Treasury offset program so they can still be viable federal contractors with the U.S. federal government, and they won't get all their federal contract payments confiscated because of this debacle with the SBA. So we can also talk a little bit about that in that 15-minute pre-screening phone call. I can find out more about you, your loan situation, and see if I think my masterclass can definitely help you out of that. And last but not least, we talk about joining the members only CMCC channel here on YouTube. For those of you who are still kind of wondering if the DLA is for you and you want to kind of get some training, but you don't want to do, to invest in a masterclass because that's not the best way for you to learn. You don't like pre-recorded videos. You kind of like to learn by doing. I think my Brigadier General training program will be fantastic for you because it's a 2-hour bi-monthly review here on YouTube where you can connect with me here in StreamYard and we can talk anything and everything related to the DLA. So that's another way that you can get access to that training that you need. And you may say, well, DLA Guru, how in the world do I do this? And hey, by the way, you guys see that scrolling marquee at the bottom of the screen there? If you're getting a lot of value from these videos and it's helping to motivate you, it's empowering you and inspiring you, hey guys, I really appreciate you supporting the channel. I get Cash Apps and Venmos every now and then. People buy me coffees every now and then, and it's fantastic. I really appreciate the love. But hey, if you haven't done any of that and you've taken a look at least 3 or 4 of my videos and this adds value, hey, drop me a donation. Donations, they go a long way. Buy me a coffee, shoot me a little something. You can easily find me on Cash App at the DLA Guru, on Venmo at the DLA Guru, or you can buy me a coffee. And by all means, there are super chats. You can hit the super chat button here in YouTube space. When you see me going live and you say, hey, DLA Guru, we love everything you're doing. Keep it going. Send me a little love because believe you me, likes are great, but cash is even greater. And I really appreciate any of the love that comes because that just keeps me motivated and inspired to continue to deliver value to you guys. But as you can see on screen, thanks again for watching. If you're interested in a contracted consultation with yours truly, the DLA Guru, where you prefer kind of that one-on-one training effect, feel free to drop me an email at thefed.contracting@nmsupply.com. You can definitely find me on that way where we can talk a little bit about your schedule, my schedule. I can send you some links where you can connect with me. We can do a one-on-one Zoom call to talk anything and everything related to your business, DLA contracting, my background, your background, where we can kind of get to know each other on a more intimate level in order to support your business with the world's largest customer, the Defense Logistics Agency. Yes, 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 guys. So that is what I have for you guys as it relates to my presentation today. Looks like we have 10 viewers in the building. If you guys have any questions related to, because it doesn't look like I have any of my Brigadier Generals or my Patreon members in the chat as of right now. So you guys got me for a little bit until these guys kind of trickle in. It's just so interesting. Yeah, I got the Brigadier General and the Patreon members that are not, they're not taking advantage of me on these Saturday mornings, but I guess they kind of like the replay. But if you happen to be Patreon member or Brigadier General, let me know that you're in the building so we can go. Well, actually, believe it or not, you can find it in the community forum. I've already put the link to our StreamYard in the community forum for Brigadier General and or Patreon members. When you're on your Patreon side, if you look in the community forum Patreon, there's a link to my StreamYard that's strictly for you guys. Click that link. Meet me over here in StreamYard. When I see you guys enter into the building here in StreamYard, then I'll know it's time to fade to black and have this be something that's strictly for my my paid members. But in the meantime, for the 12 concurrent viewers, if you're new to my content, if you're new to the DLA and you're working on a solicitation, you're working on the national stock number, if you want to share that with me, feel free. You can share it. Let me remove this out of there, because I don't mind, stop that screen. I don't mind talking to you guys about any of those NSNs that you may be working on. I can literally go into Intertek Inform, bring it up on screen there. And here, let me shut down this YouTube. Let me shut that down. Okay, cool. That's done. All right. So yeah, if you have any of those types of things that you want to talk with me about, today is the day to bring that up. Let me go ahead and launch my Intertek Inform real quick here. Okay, that's good and launched. All right, so if there's anybody here, let me go ahead and share the screen for those of you who may be like, what the world is this Intertek Inform the DLA Guru is talking about? Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me show you. All right, we're going to bring this up here. All right, we're going to share the window, share that. Okay, cool. Yeah. So Intertek Inform. This is a great tool that I talk about in some of my other YouTube videos, where you can drop in an NSN or solicitation number, and you can learn a lot about a strategy, a plan of attack. Again, guys, this is chess, not checkers, as it relates to going after DLA opportunities. So if anyone has in the building there 11 concurrent viewers that got an NSN, drop it in the public chat there. I'll take a look at it. I'll populate it here in Intertek Inform and give you a little bit of a deep dive on how I would go about pursuing this particular opportunity. I'll do it right here on the fly. All right, we got LA. LA says she won our 40th contract yesterday. Let's just say as more contracts roll in, new issues pop up. Having a tribe is important. Yes, I am so glad that you put that on. Oh, fantastic, LA. And the reason I'm calling LA, I'm just going by your first initial your first name, initial your last name, because I don't want to butcher your first name there. I'm an engineer. Phonics is not my forte sometimes, but yeah. So LA, thank you for the comment, because you're right. A lot of folks think that like take the master class and all right, I got everything I need. Let me go to work. The master classes and these learning programs is designed for continuous learning, right? Because every single DLA contract is going to be different, at least as it relates to different national stock numbers. Now, if you win the same NSN over and over again, you know what to expect. Nothing changes with the national stock number, whether it be the package requirements or whatever it may be. That's going to be fairly consistent. So there won't be really a learning curve for repeat business for the same NSN. But if you're going after different NSNs each time, you get in different contracts with different NSNs, you're going to find that, hey, there's a little bit of a nuance. There's another caveat. There's something that I didn't recognize, or nothing that I hadn't explored. I mean, there are just thousands of potential, what I call them, risk as it relates to performing the contracts. But if you have the right coaching and the teaming behind you, where you can reach out and say, hey, I've never seen this before, DLA Guru. Have you seen this before? Chances are I've seen it. And if I haven't seen it, I know exactly where to go to get the answer. So having access to folks like me in this space will definitely help you to steer from crashing your ship on an iceberg as it relates to doing business with the DLA. It's funny, like there's a lot with JCP, with technical drawings, and there are all these revisions that kind of come out where the engineers within the DLA or within the U.S. military have revisions to potential products, and you have to know how to navigate those revisions as well to make sure that your parts are certified correctly and are bought off by DCMA or the packaging specialist. And so having the ability to navigate that is also very important. But again, you have to have access to the folks that have been there, done it, got the t-shirt to show it, right? And so fantastic, LA, for that. And congratulations on your 40th contract. Yay, yay, yay. Hey, by the way, can you let me know how long you have been a DLA contractor, LA, for those 40 contracts? Over like what time span? Was that within a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years? Let us kind of know how long you've been in the game, because that's also some motivation too. That's real folks that are talking real life DLA type stuff is great. Cool. She says, let me show this. She says your JCP has been pending for 2 months. LA, I got a masterclass that's perfect for you. I got a masterclass that's going to help you, because it should not take 2 months to get JCP certified. It sounds to me that you probably didn't do the right thing. You didn't take the right steps. So I'm gonna bring up my suite of masterclasses, and I'm gonna drop this in the chat for you as well, because I recommend that you take a look at what the DLA Guru is cooking, because I have a masterclass that's designed strictly for the EJCP certification. It's a 4-step 4 steps to fast track enhanced JCP certification. And for those who have taken this masterclass, Miss LA, I will tell you that they get certified within 7 to 10 business days. So if it's taking you 2 months, there's something probably wrong with your application, something that you may have missed. And I have a 4-step fast track to help you. Highly recommend you take a look at investing in this masterclass, because If you're doing it on your own, you're not doing it correct, because it shouldn't take 2 months for you to get JCP certified, by the way. And so thank you for that. And thank you for the transparency there. But hey, the DLA Guru is here to assist you with any problems that you got as it relates to the DLA. And you've been working with the DLA starting in June of last year. So it hasn't even been a full year. Fantastic to you. Oh, let me give you another round of applause. That is awesome. So 40 DLA contracts in less than a year. That means that you're getting the information. You're getting the. Did you take a part of any of my master classes? Your name does not ring a bell. I wonder if you have taken any of my master classes in the past. Let me know if part of my master classes were help to catapult you into such a successful track record of DLA awards, because that's fantastic. And let me know if you've taken any of my classes. If not, now you have the link. You know where to go to get involved in doing some business with investing in some of my DLA master classes that are designed specifically to help you hit the ground running, so that you don't skin your knee and bump your head and prolong your success in doing business with the DLA. Okay, cool. So it looks like this is a comment that I have skipped over there. Okay, box office says, how long does VSM process take? It should take no more than 48 hours for you to get your VSM. You just basically give them a phone call, give them your contract and your cage code, and they should send you the links to have you get set up with VSM. Shouldn't take you more than 48 hours on that one. And okay, cool. We got an NSN that's in here. And again, guys, I'm just waiting on some of my brigadier generals and or Patreon members to enter the building. If you guys are out there, make sure you drop me or click the link in the community chat and come on in over here in StreamYard, so we can go ahead and do this closed circuit, because I'm really excited today. I got plenty of time to talk anything and everything related to the DLA. But in the meantime, what we're going to do is take a look at a live NSN. All right, let me go ahead and drop this in the chat there. We got, is that the, okay, 6920-8140 245 220. Wait a minute, I'm sorry, 6920-8140 2540. Is that the right number of numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're missing a number. It's 13 digits in an NSN. I knew something was off. I was like, that's 4 times 3 is 12. You need 13 digits for a national stock number. We're missing a number. So you want to drop that back in, redo that box office. Hey, drop it in there with the hyphens. That might help you too. You want to make sure you put the hyphens in there, because that's not a correct NSN there. Okay. Let's see here. So we got another NSN that's on LA, puts it on the screen there. So let's go ahead and drop it in. 6515015046163163. All right. So let me make sure that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 digits make up an NSN, not 12. You need 13 digits. Okay, cool. So LA says that this is an NSN that you're looking at. Let me make sure I see all the no masterclass, but your YouTube content helped. Let's see here. She says no masterclass, but your YouTube content helped a lot. We also did a one-on-one. However, free content only goes so far. You are so right. There, I have a video that talks about YouTube University versus master classes. You guys may want to watch that video. It's in my catalog. And YouTube University is only going to give you so much, guys. It's only so much information that we can put out there, because one, I have master classes that I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and brain energy into making sure I design something that's going to be effective and add value to your business. I'm not going to give that away on YouTube. I put months of energy into building these programs, because I want to make sure it gives you guys value. But congratulations to you for the 40 contract awards just out of YouTube University. But hey, when you run into some issues, you know how to find me, the DLA Guru. As you run into with your JCP taking 2 months, you're missing opportunities, because you're doing it the long way. The long way is not always the wrong way. But you have to kind of decide it for yourself. But yeah, so that masterclass, I think LA will definitely help you. Okay, cool. She says she will be signing up for the community very soon. I'm looking forward to seeing you at the brigadier general level. Fantastic. Yeah, would be awesome. Okay, cool. So let's talk a little bit about this NSN that LA brought. Now, without actually camming up and miking up with you, LA, I'm not exactly sure what you're asking for from this perspective. But the first thing that I would do is looking at this NSN. Okay, we're looking at it's some kind of civil medical instruments, defense medical standards. So it kind of looks like this might be one of those DLA opportunities where you might be able to do some custom manufacturing. All right, so there's a DLA standard that they're going after with this item, right? So first thing I'm going to do is click on this NIN, and I just want to see if Inform has any drawings or anything related to it. Let's see, no drawings are available. Let's see if any technical characteristics. All right, yeah, we got some technical characteristics that are associated with this item. And again, guys, this is information that you won't be able to find on DIBBS anywhere. All right, you're not gonna, DIBBS does not give you the insight to get into the nitty-gritty details. And so you have to have access to software like Intertek Inform, something of that nature that can kind of get you into the details of it. But it looks like that this is some type of, they give you some dimensions, made out of rubbers, kind of latex. So this type of stuff is great if you have a manufacturer that can build this type of build these type of products, because you can give them some technical characteristics on it. So that's the first thing I would do, is look at, okay, what exactly are we talking about? How big is this item? So my mind is kind of thinking about, from a packaging perspective, is this stuff heavy? You know, like how many, come per package? It tells you, 50 come per pack. Some other information to point out here. Is going to this. You see, yeah, it tells you PG. So we know that a lot of this is on the DLA solicitation, of course, but then it tells you that each pack contains 50. So it's just great to have access to a tool like this that gives you information off the fly, so you'll know kind of what you're getting yourself involved in. Okay, the next step is, let me do a duplicate tab here. And I'm going to go into Opportunity Manager for this particular solicitation. I mean, for this particular NSN. So Opportunity Manager is another piece of software. And I'm just going to drop that in there real quick. And we'll do a quick search. And we're going to find out, what is the DLA doing here? All right, you guys will see this NSN, the quantity column is showing you there isn't a lot of activity as it relates to this NSN, right? So we got, onesies. In my master class, I kind of teach, it's great to go after the onesie twosies, but you want to kind of put a precedent within your company of like, what is it worth to your company, especially as you kind of get more involved in doing more business with the DLA. You want to go after things that are going to, basically the bread and butter. You want to go after opportunities where you have great margins. There's a great, like history, great demand for the item as it relates to the DLA. And here, what I want to do here is just bring up, we're going to bring up, where's DIBBS? I'm going to bring up DIBBS real quick, because a couple of things I want to do with this NSN, because I'm all about the demand. I don't like to waste my time for items that the DLA buys, one item every 6 months. There's no sense in going after that type of business. You want to go after stuff that, there's just a lot of opportunity. And you'll see a lot of awards that have come in, but the DLA is just, buying one at a time, So it's like, hey, do you want to spend time just, chasing that? You want to have a baseline where you have a certain margin for each contract activity that you go after, is what I recommend. But of course, low hanging fruit is great, just to get involved, to get you kind of get some wins underneath your belt. Again, back to today's topic, how to stay motivated. A win definitely motivates you. You're like, hey, I won. All right. Hey, I got paid. Let's wash, rinse, and repeat. So this is great as it relates to that. But again, just looking at the past award history, onesie twosies, you can see that the DLA, is March, this year we got February, so it looks like they're doing some activity every single month. So like even in the month of February, even though they're buying one at a time, but it kind of adds up, so you can kind of look at it from that perspective. In Intertek Inform, let's go back into here. I'm going to look at the procurement history on this guy. I kind of like to see stuff graphically. This kind of lets you know that the DLA has been kind of buying this item since 2011. Here we are in 2024, and there's like this consistent, like price point that the DLA was considered, called like, market pricing, especially if this is one of those, an automated award. So it's good to kind of know that, hey, once my price comes in, chances are they're going to award it instantaneously, because these are automated awards. I also like to look at you know, who the incumbents are. So we got, you know, a company by the name of Bashik LLC. Hey, by the way, LA, is this your company? Are you Bashik? Is this your organization here? I'm not exactly sure if that's who you guys are, because if you were able to come in and steal the business from Scuzzy, I like to call them Scuzzy. These guys, I think they got a lot of lobbyists over in Capitol Hill. You know, so anytime you can kind of take a little business away from Scuzzy, I think is a win. So not, you know, hey, every company's out here competing, but these guys have a stronghold on the DLA. And, you know, there's a lot going on with this company, but if you can find opportunities to go after them, go after them, and go after them, you know, gloves off, go after them, because, you know, you want to get in there and kind of win the business. Oh, she says yes. Okay. So good. All right. Fantastic. So Bashik LLC, she's in the building. So LA with Bashik LLC, you guys can see on the screen there. But it's just great to kind of do this analysis. And kudos to you for beating out Scuzzy. Kudos to you for beating out Scuzzy. You know, these guys do a lot of business with the DLA. So if you can find a lane and go after these guys, because, you know, they're just, you know, nipping at their ankles and going after opportunities that they're going after, which is great. And congratulations to you for getting on the board. There's B Chic LLC. Fantastic to you there. Let's see. So yeah, those are some things that I would look at, you know, who the incumbents are. So Bashik, it looks like you've kind of gotten a lane here. What I would recommend with this NSN is double down on it. I'm not exactly sure who your vendor is that you're buying this medical product from, but, you know, I would recommend, you know, this is probably one that you can inventory for sure, you know. So if you can find economies of scale where you're able, and again, I don't know what your cost of goods sold is on it, but if you can find a way to get your cost of goods sold 20% down, and this is an item that does not have a shelf life, where you can, you know, stock 100 of them at a time in inventory, and just know that the DLA will continuously buy this item over and over again. And yeah, I had dropped in here, you know, the NSN just to kind of see what the demand profile was looking like. But look, it's only like 10 records that were found, and as of like, you know, 2024. But again, you know, just doing the research here, this is an NSN that has been around for quite some time, and this is, you know, great information here. Let me go ahead and put in the procurement history to kind of give you guys. Let me make this a little smaller, and look at this, man. All right, so this takes you back to 2011, and this shows you Scuzzy is winning it. Here's September 2011. We got November. And then we got August the next year. Scuzzy just winning and winning and winning it. You know, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. And LA, you came in and said, you know what? I'm tired and sick and tired of this company winning this. And believe you me, all Scuzzy is doing is inventorying this stuff, guys. They got a big warehouse where they just have this innocent on the shelf, knowing that it's earmarked for the DLA. So they are looking at you coming in, Bashik, and coming in and getting some of this business. So keep in mind, it's about to be blood sport. They're getting ready to undercut you on the next one. So this is where, you're not. Oh, wait a minute, you're not seeing it on your screen. I'm sorry. Thank you for letting me know that. Here, I'm building Wi-Fi, guys. Building Wi-Fi here. I can change that. No problem. I can get that changed. Let me do the present. Thank you for letting me know you're not seeing it. I'm flying out. I'm seeing it. You guys weren't seeing it. But let me share the entire screen here. Okay. All right, cool. So this is what I was trying to show you. But so all right. So anyway, she says, Scuzzy, love it. So what I was doing here was basically as a recap, talking about Bashik LLC. There she is. And then I just kind of wanted to look over the past, 10 years or so. Look at all the Scuzzy. Look at these guys just eating up, just eating with the DLA. And we got Henry Shine, and they came in. These are medical supplies, guys. So this is awesome. Scuzzy, they pretty much have I'm not oligopoly as it relates to national stock numbers in supporting DLA medical. So you being able to come in here and pull some of that business away from them, believe you me, they're going to be watching you, laser focused. They're getting ready to come in blood sport. You undercut them Well, actually, they had a lower price than you did, and you came in $2 higher and were able to win the opportunity. Not sure if you have a socioeconomic distinction or not. Here, I just hate to put your information. Well, I'm not going to put you on the screen there. I'm just curious to find out if you are woman-owned. Yeah, you're a woman-owned business. Oh, yes. Oh, well, hey, why not? You go ahead and throw it out there. You got a website. She's minority-owned, self-certified small disadvantaged business, woman-owned business, limited liability company, manufacturer of goods, and Hispanic American-owned. Congratulations to you. This is part of that competitive advantage that I'm talking about. That competitive advantage with the DLA has procurement participation goals that they have to meet. And you may have been able to meet that and come in and steal some business from SCSI, because SCSI has none of those socioeconomic distinctions. So you're able to come in with a price point a little higher than them. And the DLA said, hey, we're going to give Bashik an opportunity to win this. And fantastic to you. Again, guys, this whole DLA world, you're playing chess, not checkers in this DLA world. This is what we're talking about here. Hey, we got another comment. We got Sides in the building. Sides in the building. What's going on, Sides? And everyone should do a masterclass. They should add value to themselves and the business. Yes. Thank you for that comment. Yes. Everyone should find a way to get access to the information, especially for companies that have, decided to give the information, at an affordable price. I've heard some match classes out there, man, are really expensive and people are just price gouging. I understand that, hey, the DLA is a marathon, not a sprint. So my attitude is, hey, invest in the information. You invest in me, I invest in you, and we'll pay it forward, right? All right, so box office, he says FSC codes. Yeah, so I don't really do a lot with FSC codes in this space because the FSC codes are just so vast. I'll give you an example of why it's kind of hard to kind of talk to an FSC code. But here you can use the software to throw FSC code in here. He says FSC code is 6920. So by dropping in that FSC code and doing a quick little search, you'll see that wait, hold on here. Let me put the description. Boom, boom. There are a lot of NSNs that have been canceled underneath this FSC code, but what we can do is change the status to active and then do another search here. And you'll see in this FSC code class that box office is looking at doing business with. I will say, in this software here, there's a lot of zeros in stocking price, but then we got some big numbers in here, $1,600 a piece for these kinds of items. Here's one for $4,900. And then, these are bullseye targets, guided missile stuff. So it looks like this is kind of weapons on the weapons side of the coin. And keep in mind for this FSC code, sometimes you might need a federal firearms license in order to get gain access to being able to sell this stuff to the DLA. I'm sure like with the targets and stuff, you don't necessarily need that. But if you kind of get into armaments and things like that, you're going to need an FFL in order to get involved with that, or be able to partner with a company that has an FFL. It's interesting. Not a lot of companies have FFLs, but if you have like a local gun range and in your community, you may be able to go down and do some joint ventures where you guys may be able to work with a company that has FFL and deals with armaments, and you can bring some DLA business to them. As you being a reseller or working directly with them, of course, they will have to sell to the DLA, but you may be able to work out an arrangement where you get some kind of award fee or something of that nature. We've never done it, but I've heard there are different ways that you can skin that cat as it relates to, if you don't want to go out to getting a federal firearms license, that you can work with other companies that might be able to support you and supporting the warfighter. All right, fantastic. Yeah, so again, it's really hard to speak to FSC codes. I prefer like solicitations and NSNs in this space, box office. All right, cool. So let's see here. Let's see here. We do have any other. Okay. Yeah. So we got LA. She says, you really want to laugh. Check out another innocent here. Let's see here. We got 65150136365545. Okay. Let's see what we find out with this innocent. All right, so yeah, this looks like okay. So it looks like medical is your thing because you know this is Ansell. Ansell is a manufacturer. They typically do a lot of gloves and stuff, and so you're looking at some condoms. So the DLA is looking to buy condoms. I'm curious to see how big. Yeah, this is on the medical side for sure. So you'll see here again, you know, they're buying. Let's see here. Are these by the box or by the case? Sometimes you got to be careful when you get into these spaces. Okay, they're buying packages. Each package has 1,009 or 1,008 condoms in each package. So that's a lot of condoms that the DLA is buying in support of our war fighter, making sure they got the prophylactics out there. And yeah, Ansell is definitely the brand that they're looking for. You know, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they are allowing other brands to kind of come in there, but here, let's go on the DIBBS side of it. I'm just going to drop that innocent in there as well. All right, let's see what else we got in here. And no brigadier generals and no Patreon members have come in today. So, hey guys, you guys got me for a little while longer. She said the boys have been busy. Yes, the boys have been busy. The boys have been busy, busy, busy. All right, so you'll see here that the DLA is buying, you know, these are, you know, one package at a time. Here's one that was two packages. But hey, they're awarding it. They're, you know, like if you got a lane for this NSN, and, you know, you got some that have been removed. So, you know, I have found that there is a lot of this removal stuff kind of happening with the DLA. They'll remove it, then resolicit it. You know, maybe that purchase rec that came in with the warfighter went dormant, or the warfighter, you know, retracted their purchase request for those items. But you'll see here, there are some quoting opportunities that are available right now. They're looking like they're buying 3 packs there. But the biggest thing that I like to look at with these NSNs, LA, is basically going in and doing a little bit of a deep dive, looking at the procurement history on the item, seeing that the DLA, there's been some fluctuation in pricing, and then back in 08, the price just really tanked. All right, and then let's click on number 10 there. And so, yeah, this is an item that they've just been buying a whole hell of a lot of. Let's go to the very end of this guy. And so, yeah, you can kind of see, and of course, this information is all downloadable, which is great about this software, because you can put it and download it as a CSV or Excel format. I'm all about data, and I think our brother James is all about data crunching. The GovCon space is really about data crunching, guys. You got to get into the data, get it in that past award history, get into who the incumbents are on these items here, and you'll see again, SCSI is got the lion's share of this particular medical item. Hey, we got she's coming in there. She's coming in there nipping at their ankles. So this is fantastic. You found the lane and you're coming in, winning some of these opportunities. Great. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to you. You found the lane. The next step is double down on it. See if you can get this stuff in stock. And keep in mind, expiration dates of condoms don't last forever. So you don't want to overstock, but you want to make sure that you're able to get the economies of scale under your belt, because SCSI is going to come at you. They're gonna be firing the cannons at you. They're going to be trying to figure out how to undercut you and come in. And let me see, as far as you coming in, like you can tell, like Bloodsport, you came in at 153.55. They came in at 152. You know, so you can see that, you know, they're just undercutting you by $1 or $2 each time. And oh, I love it. You guys were just going to look at this. Let me make this a little larger. You guys were battling here. You came in at 153, then they came in at 154. You came in at 153 on this guy here. And I'm not exactly sure. These are different contracts. Maybe there are multiple line items in these contracts here. So it's a lot of different ways that you can kind of cut up the past award information here. But the idea behind it is just looking at, you know, who so SCSI, you're going toe to toe with, SCSI, well, Bashik, you're going toe to toe with SCSI right now. So I'll get excited about that. I mean, this is like, bow, bow, bow. This is the kind of stuff that should excite you, right? And getting involved with the DLA. Make it fun, you know, make it like, okay, they got me this time, I'm getting them next time, you know, but not just on this particular NSN, imagine if you had 50 NSNs that you were doing this on, and just kind of with your team, having a good time, going to war, going to battle in support of the warfighter. This is the way we look at it as a team. every week we have a staff meeting. We get together, we talk about incumbents, we talk about goals, we talk about price points, we talk about all this kind of stuff, and we have a great time going after DLA opportunities, man, to win these awards. So congratulations to you for sharing that information. This is just a microcosm, just scratching the surface of how you can put together strategies working with yours truly, the DLA guru, and going after these DLA contracts. I urge you guys to get involved, connect with me. Let's do some consulting. I'd like to find out more about your company. And LA, I'm looking forward to you joining us at the Brigadier General level, because I'm sure that there's a lot more information that I can provide you and some more guidance that I can give you on how to go toe to toe and go to the market with doing business with the DLA to increase your scope there. All right. So it looks like we got 10 concurrent viewers in the building. I got a little bit more time, guys, to answer a couple more questions. If you got another solicitation or a national stock number that you want me to take a look at, I have no problem with looking at anything and everything related. I'm looking over my chats now. Hey, no super chats have come in either. Not one super chat. Can somebody drop me a super chat? A buck or two, just a buck or two for today's live stream. That would be fantastic. Feel free to hit me on Cash App or Venmo. You see it scrolling down there, supporting the channel. It definitely means a lot to me, especially if you're getting some value out of my content. If you're getting a laugh or two and it's inspiring you, you pay it forward. It comes back to you guys, man. So don't be in a situation where you just gobble, gobble, gobble. I want to receive. No, give too. It's a give and take as it relates to this relationship in this space, from being a YouTube content creator to assisting you guys. It means something. It goes to that whole spiritual alignment, because if you're not doing that, the creator is not gonna give you. You have to give to get. That's the way that works. But cool. So she says, I gotta go. Thanks for everything. No problem. Thank you for the contribution today. Your contributions on the NSNs will be great. And you see, we got Mickey Shay says, will you have another sale? We have our sales randomly. Depends on the number of new subscribers that kind of come in, and people who reach out to me when we do those flash sales, as far as coupons for gaining access to my DLA content. So, hey, Mickey, if coupon is what you need, and that's, you're just kind of wanting to make sure that, you're on, like, you have some constraints and budgetary constraints, shoot me an email, fed.contractingmsupply.com. Let me know what you're needing, and I'll see if I can help you out, help you along your way, because I'm all about helping folks getting access to the information. Hey, it looks like I got a super chat that just came in. All right. Hey, Mike, thank you for the super chat, man. Yes, that just made my entire presentation worth it. I don't get many super chats at all, but hey, Mike, thank you for the super chat, man. I really appreciate the super chat. And yeah, hey, you got a comment for me, or you got anything you want me to take a look at? Hey, man, thank you. Let me go ahead. Yes, you got a super chat that just came in. Thank you for the super chat, and I'll also give you a round of applause. Mike, my friend Mike is a top contributor. He not only subscribed today and joined us as an enlisted to gain access to my members forum, because Mike, with your subscription as an enlisted member, you'll gain access to my members forum, where I'll drop links to different DLA webinars that may be out there, or just things that I think will be kind of cool to help enhance you with your DLA journey. And I also have a newsletter where I drop awards, like those big multi-million-dollar awards at the DLA awards on a daily basis. You'll find information about those companies and their contract numbers and those dollar values, which again will help to motivate you to start to ask some questions and see different lanes that you may have as relates to getting involved with doing business with the DLA. All right, so thank you for that. Hey, we got another super chat that just came in. Oh, super chat from Sides. Thank you for the contribution to the channel. All right, yes, thank you. I really appreciate the super chat. Got some super chats coming in. You guys support the DLA guru. DLA Guru is in the building for sure. And thank you for that super chat size, Jay. I really appreciate the support of what I'm doing over here, man. I am cooking in this kitchen. All right, fantastic. Cool. Let's see. We got James. He has an innocent that he wants to talk about. And hey, guys, I'm gonna make this the last innocent today because I can get out here and get long-winded. Today was for my Brigadier Generals and my Patreon members, and no one showed up. So here, wait a minute. Let me write this in there correctly. We got 7025015898541. All right, let's take a look at this innocent. What Brother James has. Okay, so Brother James is getting into a data transfer interface unit. All right, so it looks like I see the SPA, that's Italian. I remember when I worked for Boeing, I spent some time in Italy for 2 years supporting the Italian government by way of the U.S. military and Boeing. And it was a great, oh man, I had a great time in those 2 years in Italy. And so I know SPA is a distinction for a lot of Italian companies. And then we got some France. So this looks like this might be, we got Leonardo and Cisco Systems here. A lot of these companies are ringing a bell with me. All right, stocking price is $9.90. Okay, let's go ahead and do a little deep dive into the innocent itself. And it looks like these are, the DLA is buying them in units of each. Let's see if there are any potential drawings hanging out there. No drawings, any technical characteristics, nothing technical there. Okay, let's look at the procurement history on this item. It looks like the DLA has been buying this stuff around since 2016. Now, they may have been buying it prior to 2016. So this software, it pulls information based on the DLA's databases, right? So they'll pull the information, they store this information, and it's readily available for subscribers to Intertek Inform to take a look at it. But it looks like the DLA bought this back in 2022, and we have a few incumbents. We got Simi, Liberty. If you guys notice, Cisco Systems is nowhere on the map. And so it looks like the DLA, may be buying it. Well, it's a handful of competitors, but it looks like Lynn Electronics is one that rings a bell here. And right now, the incumbent that I guess the company to beat will be Cloud 2 LLC. Not exactly sure where Cloud 2 is located at. Let's go ahead and pull this up and see who these guys are. All right, they're in Atlanta, Georgia, in the A. All right, and this company is a small disadvantaged business, limited liability, for profit. So they don't have a lot of socioeconomic factors. So hey, James, if this is something that you're going after, being that you're a service-able, veteran-owned company, that might give you somewhat of a competitive advantage as it relates to this innocent. Okay, let's go on DIBBS real quick. And a lot of what I'm showing, I'm kind of going back and forth from DIBBS to Intertek Inform, but a lot of this information you can find directly in Intertek Inform as well. Wait a minute, that's the wrong one. I gotta copy that. I was like, wait a minute, how did it go from a interface to back to a condom again? Okay, cool. So looks like this is a unrestricted, and this is an IDIQ contract opportunity where the DLA, hey James, be careful on this one here for this IDIQ. This quantity of 165 may not be a real number. All right, so keep that in mind. You want to look at the details of this contract pretty closely, especially if you bid on the IDIQ. And what I mean by that, I'm going to go ahead and bring this up real quick. If you're looking in here, you want to look in Section A. This Section A is really going to tell you what's really going down with this guy. All right. And so I think, James, you and I have talked about this over when I had the live streams with Commander Level. But yeah, minimum order delivery quantity is going to be 6. So keep in mind, they're not going to buy 165 at a time, and that's only estimated. I would focus my attention on the MOQ if you're trying to get some economies of scale, because you don't want to get kind of caught up in your vendor thinking that you're going to buy 165 at a time, and that's not the case on this one. So those IDIQ are really interesting kind of contracts to go after when you're doing that. But then I see Brother James is a service-able veteran-owned set aside. So in this opportunity, they would be. But see, a lot of times when they have the IDIQ and these like neck and neck, the DLA is kind of trying to, price this out a little bit, right? They're trying to see, is it cheaper to buy all 149 at one time, or do we want to lock a vendor into a 12-month deal? I recommend bidding on both of them, but I always recommend bidding the IDIQ much higher than you would bid the non-IDIQ contract. You know, that might give you a little bit of an advantage when you're going after this, brother James there. Cool. That's what I had to put there. And yeah, I think you put the solicitation number and the yeah. So everything that you just you said in the chat there, I've covered it there. And he said, yeah, you're going after the non-IDIQ. And yeah, that's probably pretty smart. But hey, I would bid on both of them, man, because what that can do, you know, is like make the system kind of say IDIQ is not the best way. Let's go ahead and focus on the non-IDIQ. So I would bid both of them. But again, just mark up the IDIQ at a really high price point to kind of, you know, force your hand in one way or the other is why I relate it's my strategy when I go after these type of, you know, neck and neck IDIQ and non-IDIQ contracts for open quote opportunities with the DLA. All right, cool. Hey, man, so got 14 concurrent viewers in the building. 14, man. You know what? I think that's the most that I've ever had on the live stream. 14 at one time. And we got 11 likes in the building. 11 likes. 14 15 viewers have come in. 16. All right. Hey, before I come up out of here, if you guys are late to the show, hopefully it was a really good show today. Provide some value. Feel free to watch the replay. I meant the replay of this particular video. Right now it's going to be only for our brigadier generals, but I, you know what, actually, since I didn't have any brigadier generals today, now I'll go ahead and make this public forum. All right. So there will not be, I will not redo this video. So it'll be available for the general public. I'll take it out of the brigadier general since I didn't have any brigadier generals in today or any Patreon members. I'll put that in the public forum so you guys can watch it on the replay after we end it. But hey, 13 viewers. We had 2 super chats in here. We had some great interactions, some great back and forth there. The engagement. Oh, you guys, today was, you just really just made my day today. You know, all my fans and all those out there. We've crossed the 2,000 subscriber threshold, and only onward and upward is the light, as my brothers with Alpha Phi Alpha would talk about. You know, onward and upward is the way of the light, and that's where we're going to be going with that, guys. So oh, wait a minute, we got one more comment before I'll let you guys go. Brother James says, would the other contract be expired since it's from 9/24? You know, there's a possibility that the contracting officer doesn't even know that there's an action available. You know, so what I recommend, drop something in there, reach out to the contract administrator that's on record for the solicitation, let them know that, you know, ask a question. Hey, is there any chance that this is going to be closing out pretty soon? And that way they'll go, oh man, yep, it was in my junk mail, didn't know. And then you'll have an action, hopefully within, you know, 7 to 14 days after you do something like that, James, to kind of move it in the right direction. But hey, man, congratulations to you for being in the building there, James. Brothers Sides, Jay, Mike, we had Yolanda, we had LA, we got Mickey Che. She says that she'll be sending some information over to me today as well. Hey guys, I love the love that you guys are giving the DLA Guru. Hey, and you know, hey, every 2 weeks you'll know where to find me. And you know, by plan, I got some other things in the hopper, guys. I'm trying to get a little bit more content. I've been really, really busy with some of our company's DLA awards and vendor development. So, you know, I can't always get out to you guys. But if you want to, you know, do a one-on-one with me, you know where to find me. Fed.contractingandmsupply.com. Oh, wait a minute, one more comment. Oh, you got some latecomers coming in here. Denise Carr in the building. Welcome, Denise, in the building. Glad to see that you're there. She says, have you heard details for the live TKO in Columbus, Ohio in May? I have not heard any details per se, but I'm aware of the TKO. As a matter of fact, what I'll probably do coming up, I may do an announcement about the TKO that they have. Those TKOs are pretty interesting. We sat in the one that they had last month, and the DLA, they're still having a lot of problems, guys. You know, like, you know, people weren't showing up, you know, presenters that they had to show up, or like a part of the presentation for the day didn't show up. I guess, they forgot about it or something like that. They were having a lot of technical issues. So Donice, I think the TKOs are good, but a lot of times the DLA only gives you very, very high level, so but yeah, I know that they have TKOs, randomly throughout the year. I just don't think it's the best way of really hitting the ground running as it relates to the DLA, but it does give you more of an idea of who the DLA is. But if you're looking for the ways of actually positioning yourself to like win contracts, and with the strategies and methodologies, connecting with me, yours truly, DLA Guru, will definitely help you along your DLA journey. But yeah, Donice, if you want to just make sure you're engaged, highly recommend that you become a member. You can get in at the enlisted level, commander level, and I highly recommend the brigadier general level, because you'll be able to get more interaction, more information that I release to those who invest in me. I pay it forward and invest back in you. So find a way to get involved and get invested with yours truly, DLA Guru. And I would say, guys, today was probably one of the best live streams that I ever have. So,
and that's all I have to say about that.
That's all I have to say about that. So I will be able to see you guys on my next live stream. Until we meet again, I'll see you guys definitely at the top. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.